Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To start off, my name is Diraj Jaikishin Dodani.
My name is Lee.
My name is Muhammad Fito Pasha.
My name is Ricky Morris Adiputra.
My name is Aribimo Nathanael Parwanto.
To start off, we need to understand the context of Umar bin Khattab's leadership. Umar bin Khattab ruled from around 632 to 644 CE, which was a really transformative period for the Islamic world. During this time, Islamic territories expanded rapidly, reaching major empires like Persia and Byzantium. And with that kind of growth, the community couldn't stay the same. What started as a relatively small, close-knit prophetic community during the time of Prophet Muhammad began evolving into something much larger and more complex. Because of these expansions, governance had to adapt. There was a growing need for more structured system, especially in law and administration. And this is where fiqh begins to take a more formal shape. It wasn't just about any personal religious guidance anymore, but started becoming part of an organized legal and administrative framework. So overall, Umar bin Khattab's period marks a key transition from a community guided directly by the Prophet to a more institutionalized system where law, governance, and reasoning all played a bigger role.
So, Islamic law, or fiqh, is based on several main sources. First is the Quran, which is the holy book of Islam and is believed to be the direct word of God revealed to Prophet Muhammad through Jibril. Second is the Sunnah, which refers to the teachings, actions, and way of life of the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims see this as the best example of how to live according to Islam. Is ijtihad, which means independent reasoning. It is used when an issue is not directly explained in the Quran or Sunnah. So scholars try to make judgments based on Islamic principles. In current fiqh, these three sources are still the foundation, but scholars also use other methods such as ijma, or consensus, and qiyas, which is analogy. This shows that fiqh continues to develop while still staying rooted in the Quran and Sunnah.
Fiqh was not only embedded in the daily lives of Muslims, but it also required formal institutions to be effectively implemented. For instance, the Qadi system, which established a structured judicial framework, making an early separation between executive and judicial functions through the appointment of judges. Meanwhile, there's also the Diwan, which played a crucial role in organizing state administration, including finances and the military. Altogether, these institutions it ensured the legal uniformity across the Muslim community.
During the caliphate of Umar bin al-Khattab, Islamic law was not only applied strictly but also thoughtfully by considering real social conditions. One important example is the suspension of hudud, or punishment for the theft during a famine. Normally, theft is punished strictly under Islamic law. However, Umar decided to not apply the punishment because people were stealing out of necessity, not out of criminal intent. This shows that his legal reasoning considered context and justice, not just rigid rules. This approach is similar to modern legal principles such as Article 54, Paragraph 1b of Indonesia's KUHP, which also considers circumstances when judging a crime. Another example is his land policy in conquered territories. Instead of distributing land to soldiers, Umar kept it under state control to ensure it benefited to the public as a whole. He also regulated market prices through a system called hisbah to prevent unfair trade and protect consumers. These decisions show that Umar used law as a tool for social welfare and economic justice. Overall, Umar's legal decisions reflect a balance between religious principles and societal needs, forming an important foundation for the development of Islamic law.
In conclusion, the development of Islamic law was an evolution that had to happen and was in line with the evolution of Islamic society as a whole. We know that this is not the Islamic law that is currently used today, but that is due to the continued influence and evolution of Islamic society itself. Despite not being a formal use of fiqh, it did become the basis of what Islamic law will eventually be. It has clear reasoning in its principles of how it implemented Islamic law. Furthermore, as mentioned by Nail, the law during Umar bin Khattab's time had a balance between text and context, because what applies in a text does not always apply in the situation if you add context to it. And lastly, we know that the developments during this time became the foundation of Islamic law. That is all we have in this short presentation. We'd like to thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.